in the sky with
Proud and free, we stand as one. Faith and freedom, it's never done. Three conservative gimps, we raise the call for God and country. We give our all. Proud and free. Proud and
Hey, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we will stand for angel moms. Yes, we will, because we have good priorities and we are good red-blooded Americans. Let's get this show going all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Let's welcome my good buddy Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, welcome.
Howdy do, Art. Hello, everybody in the chat, all one of you.
Oh, one of us, yeah.
But hey, we're glad he's here or she's here. And yeah, definitely
Yeah.
a crazy week, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Weather here, beautiful, but windy. Really windy. Yeah. How about in your neck of the woods?
It's been comfortable. It a little on the cool side. Yesterday was a little cooler than normal, but and yeah, we're starting. The wind's picking back up. Actually, I think yesterday we were on a higher, air quality alert,
Oh, my.
and I think it's because of the smoke from the grass fires.
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh,
And-
yeah. We're having the same. We got fire warnings here.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah, we do too. So, and don't forget our comrade sitting in the back.
Yes. Let's welcome all the way from the blue state of New York. It is Sir Charles Kaleski. Welcome,
Yes,
welcome.
comrades.
Yeah, well, yeah, I said that, and I thought maybe I shouldn't use that word.
Well, he does.
Comrade in arms.
Okay.
Comrade in
The
arms.
warm embrace of collectivism. There you go.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
that warmth with all that cold weather you guys have been having.
When Comrade Mamdani replaces Hochul.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, won't that be a hell of a day?
It's actually not that cold.
Oh, that's
We're supposed
good.
to like yesterday it got almost up to 40. Today it was below freezing, but we're going to be hitting a warm wave where the next few days it's going to be pretty consistently above 40 during the day, and there's going to be a couple of nights when it's actually not going to drop to below freezing. So yay for that.
Good. Yeah, so they're talking about a major snowstorm coming next week.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, we may get a foot of snow. Yeah. So, hey, thanks, March. Always March is our snowiest month of the year. Mhm.
Yeah. It's that's the way it is here. If we're going to get an extraordinarily record-setting snow, it usually hits about the second week of March. So
Yep. Yeah, they're talking around the 5th or 6th of March.
Yep.
That's the extended forecast. Or it may end up being nothing. Maybe
well,
just-
yeah, and chances are it's going to end up being nothing. But if you don't prepare, then you're screwed. Yeah. See, we don't have rain. Sunday, Monday, we have a dry spell on Tuesday, and then back worked Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday. So the next week is going to be all rain.
Yeah.
But we need it because we've already had grass fires here. We need
Yeah.
you know
Wow.
Same here.
you know I'd rather have the rain than the grass fires, and
Mhm.
so
All right, let's get this show going. So we had a big speech happening Tuesday night, the State of the Union speech, and it was quite a spectacle. You had one guy, one representative get kicked out.
Green,
That
he
would
gets
be Al Green, who got kicked out last year.
I think he gets kicked out every other year, I think, or this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got kicked out last year, and
Yep.
they need to censure him. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm. And then you got those two idiots, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib,
Yeah,
just yelling pretty much through the whole speech.
yeah. That might be okay for the British Parliament
Mm-hmm.
or the Australian Parliament, but this is the United States. We used to have decorum.
Used
Yeah.
to until
Brian Al
Wilson,
Green is a
yeah, until that Republican Wilson yelled at Obama back in the day.
yeah.
He said, "You lie," and that was it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
don't,
he got censored for that too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he got
And then
censored for that.
after that, it was Bobert and Green, Marjorie Taylor Green, that
Right.
did a few things, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
Yeah, I think wasn't it a Supreme Court justice that actually called Obama the liar?
oh, I think he mouthed. He didn't
Oh,
say it.
he didn't say it. He just mouthed
He
it.
just said,
Okay.
No. There was. I think I remember at some point in
Yeah.
time
was
somebody
it?
actually yelling out the word liar.
Yeah, I think it was Roberts,
Yeah.
Chief Justice Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I was talking to my cousin during part of this, and he said, "How come the Supreme?" He says, because I think there was only 4 or 5 justices there. Anyways, they weren't all there Tuesday,
No. Oh, I
from
did
what I
not
could tell. Yeah,
know. Huh.
and he said, "But how come they're not standing?" I said, "The Supreme Court justices do not stand. That's always
Yeah,
been the
they're
protocol.
supposed to be
They're supposed to
non-partisan.
be independent,
Yeah,
overlooking, because
apolitical.
they're apolitical, and they're supposed to be the
Well,
balance of power between the administration and the
Legislature.
uh, yeah, Senate
Yeah.
and Congress, yeah,
No.
or
Mm-hmm.
representatives, yeah. So, anyways, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's why they don't do that. So I explained that to him, because if people, and that's the thing, they don't, and of course he's the same age as I, and he probably hadn't really paid attention to that. And he said, I think he even said, like I said, he and I are the same age. I'm 2 months older, and he goes, "Oh, I think I remember something about that." So yeah, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then there were 70 of them that didn't even bother to show up.
Yep, that's right. Yep,
Here's the
and
thing: if you decided that, let's say they were going to have somebody working in the booth next to you tomorrow or for the next 2 weeks, and you said, "Well, as long as they're there, I'm not coming in for the next 2 weeks," what do you think would happen to you?
ooh, yeah, I'd get fired. Yeah.
That's their damn job. They should have been there, whether they liked what he said or not. They didn't have to applaud. They have that right. They have the right not to stand, but they
Mhm.
should have done they're paid to be there to
Mhm.
do that job.
Well, the Denver Congresswoman Diana DeGette didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I think, that, and that's the thing, that it was actually Greg Gutfield that brought that up. And
Mhm.
uh
Was that on the 5 or on
yeah, it was on
the?
the 5. It was on the 5. I just watched it a little bit ago.
Okay, I'll
It
have
was
to
yeah, it's from today's
Cool.
and he was going after what's her name, Kennedy.
Oh, was Tarlov on the panel?
Who?
Jessica Tarlov.
Jessica Carlisle. Yeah, I always get her and the other one mixed up. Yeah.
Every time she goes to speech, I always kind of fast forward that because she,
Yeah.
unlike
Well,
Harold Ford, who is reasonable
yes.
and can talk without sounding like he's just regurgitating talking points like
Right.
Jessica.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I like
And
how Jesse Waters likes to put his hand over there, and she gets a little irritated with that.
yeah, you notice they never sit her next to Greg.
Oh yeah, he's
I think
always
I think they'd probably get, she'd probably slap him, and that would be the end of the conversation. Because
yeah, he's all
he'd
the
sit,
way.
but yet they'd have security holler out, which is what they should have done at the Academy Awards a year or so ago.
Yeah. He's all the way to the hour left, and Jessica is in between whoever's on the other side of the
Yeah,
table.
usually Dana
Between
Perino.
Jesse Waters.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that used to be Judge Janine's seat, but
Yeah. And who they get that New York cop on there, and sometimes James Joey Johnson or
yeah,
Johnny, yeah, he'll take that spot, or he'll fill in for Jesse.
right, yeah.
Well,
Well, he's filled in for Gutfield a few times too.
yes, he does, and so does Tyrus. And
So is Tyrus, yeah. I have a lot of respect for Joey because he's a double amputee.
Yeah, mhm.
It was so funny because he was on the first night that Kat came back after having her baby, and
Yeah.
she'd also had taken off time because they found out while she was pregnant she had cancer, and
Mhm.
so she had a double mastectomy. And he
Mhm.
says, "Well, at least I'm not the only double amputee in the room now."
Yeah, that's right. I saw that.
She busted up laughing.
I wish I could be on the panel with him. Then I could say, well, I guess we got something in common. Greg, you and I are the only ones that can't touch the floor with their feet.
Yeah.
But I like it when they have Joe Mackey on.
Yeah.
Or
I like Joe Mackey, but he needs to get some sun. Him and that other guy. Joe looks like he looks like a kid, like he's always scared of what. He looks like one of the kids off the old R Gang movies.
He's autistic.
Well, that might explain it.
Yeah.
I wondered. Then he's damn good at what he does. I mean, I thought I liked his comedy anyways, but I did not realize he was autistic. So that
he's
having
high
picked
functioning.
up on that.
Yeah, kind of like Elon. Yeah.
Elon, yeah. I have a grandson who's autistic. Is just bright as a, he's really sharp, especially when it comes to programming and coding.
Yeah.
He codes his own games for his iPad.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's get back to the speech. And so I like the part where Trump said, Stan, if you agree that the government's job is
to protect U.S. citizens, not illegal aliens.
Right. And it's like only the Republicans stood.
Yeah.
And
Well, and I heard it mentioned, he played that for a reason. He did it that way for a reason because one, if they stood, well, then then their core base would look at him and think, "Oh my God, he's persuaded them to go to his side."
right.
But if unfortunately, if they don't stand, well, then the American people are going to watch that. They're seeing how they're behaving,
Mhm.
and that's going to hurt them. That's going to hurt them in the midterms, or could.
And not only did they not stand for that, they didn't stand for the angel mom. That mom,
Yeah,
her daughter was killed by that kook on the, what was it, a bus or train? And
Oh
what killed?
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Irina.
Arian.
yeah. Killed by the nutcase
So
on the
up.
subway train. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, they didn't stand for the 100-year-old veteran that got the
Oh,
Congressional Medal of Honor.
yeah. Right. Hmm.
Excuse me.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah, they didn't stand for. They didn't even. Did they stand? No, I don't think they stand for the hockey team.
They
Nope.
didn't stand for anybody. They didn't stand for Jessica Kirk.
Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk. I knew that. I don't know where Jessica came. Probably because I was thinking of the show earlier.
Well, I
Yeah.
think some people like started to stand up for the hockey team,
Yeah.
and then because I remember seeing some woman, I don't know who it was.
Oh,
She stood up, and then like not even a second passed by, and she sat right back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
but Fetterman did stand.
Fetterman standing for all of those types of things.
Yep.
Now,
Hmm.
if it was and because he says, you don't have to agree with him, but you need, your job is, here's the funny thing. eh, and I was included, giving Fetterman such a hard time, about, I mean, I just thought this is the stupidest thing. And, that, that he got elected, and then
Yeah.
had to immediately go into hospital and,
Mm.
deal with this. I
Stroke.
think it had more to do with issues from the stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because having a stroke like that can create depression. But anyways, and then the whole jogging suit thing, and
Oh yeah.
he
Yeah.
mentioned it the day after. He says, "Well, I have more." He says, "I have more hoodies than I do suits." He
Yep.
says, "But this is something in which we should come in there and dress because we should show decorum, and that
Right.
includes standing for things you may not agree with." You know, or you may not agree with policies, but when it comes to a person like that, you don't have to stand for the policies. But when it comes, everybody should agree
Yeah.
that all of those things were things to stand up for. And
Yeah.
they didn't stand for the ID. I mean, it's like they brought out
Oh yeah.
these were
The
80-20
statement.
issues. Yeah, these were 80-20 issues, and voter ID. You know,
Hmm.
they didn't
Yeah.
stand. And like he said, he called them. Those people are crazy that they didn't stand for, uh,
Yeah. Hmm.
protecting Americans over illegals.
Yeah. And they said you should be ashamed of yourself. And yep.
Yeah. Hey, Grant.
Hey Grant, the only thing they did stand on was when he talked about insider trading.
Well, he did ask if Pelosi stood.
Yeah, yeah. But Pocahontas, I mean, Elizabeth Warren did stand.
She did stand. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that's probably something that will, I thought it was a law already, but
I, I,
I think it
I
is. But
think,
they need to strengthen it.
yeah, they do. And how about that interview that Pelosi gave after that? It sounded like she was drunk, you
She
know?
probably was.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
yeah. She probably was drunk.
Yeah, because she was trying to defend herself from
Yeah,
that. It's like, wow, that's rich, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. But here's the thing. This is just February.
Yeah,
We have to make it to November. We
that's
have to
right.
start. And unfortunately, he didn't. I mean, he put on all the wins that we as a country have had, or he and his administration have had.
Hmm.
But we need to work a little harder and presenting, you know, as Yeah, and of course, things like I heard him say uh, in April when a lot of the returns will be coming in March and April. That's when you're going to be seeing uh, a lot of people are going to be well pleased with what with his policy from the big beautiful bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they.
Peak irony on the House floor: 213 Democrats used their photo ID to vote against photo IDs in the election. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
that's the thing. They got to have voter IDs. They got to have a picture ID to
Mm-hmm.
walk into the chamber.
Right. And yeah, I
They,
believe they have
they
a lanyard with a badge
right.
that has a
They have
picture.
to show in the security section before the chamber gets there. You know, there's a
Mm-hmm.
uh, there's a security thing. Not only do they have to go through metal detectors, but they also have to show a photo ID.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what about the strange costumes at the party that they had after the frog
Oh, you
suit,
talking about the dancing frogs?
dancing frogs, and oh, and
Oh, a giraffe.
the giraffe who said,
Oh my.
I just got out of ICE prison." Wait a minute, ICE doesn't have prisons. Yeah. Now you may have been arrested and taken to city jail.
Yeah, he was put in custody, and he was probably
Yeah,
put in a. If the city wasn't taking him in, then they had to put him in one of their temporary facilities.
right.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's not prison, not until
Yeah.
he's convicted, and then he'll go to a federal prison anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, uh,
Yeah,
that
but
was
people are not aware of these kinds of things, so they get to, when they make a statement like that, everybody believes that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
that's
why
why
they
we
call
have
him the
shows.
uninformed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So uh Lloyd and I, we need to get together with Paco because there's some song ideas I've got for the speech. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
we could call it we could throw in TDS. I mean, that was total TDS right there at that.
yeah. It was, yeah, it was hate for Trump, yes, but
Mm,
it was, and I've said this before. I think that the Trump derangement syndrome has gone so far it's gotten so bad that it will probably be considered an actual mental
mental
health
illness.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Oh, he's got
yep.
TDS. It starts out as a joke, but I mean, these people, uh, you know, have gotten worse and worse.
Mhm. And Trump he even talks about bringing back mental institutions. And I really think they should because, and you know who should end up in those facilities? A lot of college professors,
Yeah,
especially the ones that spout out this. Oh, there's more than one gender. Wow, I thought
More
you
than
guys
two.
were about
More than
science.
two.
it's more than two
Yeah,
genders.
I mean two. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait.
There is more than one gender. There's two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two. Yeah.
Yeah, his statement wasn't wrong. It just wasn't correct.
Yeah. uh-huh.
Figured that one out. Yeah.
And
Uh,
the thing is, I've seen a couple of times. I've seen these lists or tables or articles about what all these other genders are, and no matter how they slice it, it's not a different gender. It usually boils down to uh, a sexual preference or sexual attraction, like
right.
being sexually attracted. Like, well, there's of course, the asexual, you know,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
almost calling that another gender. They're saying
Mm,
that if you're attracted to somebody simply based on how intelligent they are, what sort of a mind they have, that's another gender. Then there's
mhm.
all these the furries
The
and
furries.
the furries
Mm,
and the twin spirit kind of things, and
Yeah.
people who say, "Oh, I'm a star child," and then
Or
people who
I'm
are attracted to other star childs, and it's just like, no, you are a whatever chromosome set you are
yeah,
attracted to somebody else, regardless of whether
Yeah.
it's the same sex or not, based on these other um
hmm
not principles, these are the qualities that you
yeah,
find sexually attractive. That is
mm,
not a gender.
Yeah.
That
And
is
that's,
not a gender.
yep,
and if you notice, they keep substituting the word sexuality because if they used biological gender, there's no argument. So they came up with the word to replace biological gender, you know. And God, what was I looking at? I
oh, I
think
don't know what
I
Ronnie
signed up
said.
for something, and or I can't remember what it was now. And they said, "Do you?" Oh, I know what it was. It's on YouTube because I was working on this other channel. It says, "Do you have a pronoun reference?" I'm going, really?
Oh yeah,
Are
yeah, I
you
saw that.
kidding me? It's like,
Mm,
when the hell did that? Yeah, I had never. I it had been a while since I'd been to YouTube Studio and gone through all of that. But it's like, are
mhm.
you kidding me? But yeah, that's it. They keep saying follow the science, but they refuse to believe the science when it's presented to them.
Yep. Mhm. Mhm.
I
Ah,
well, here's the thing. I was thinking this a few minutes ago. I had a guy that I got the job of escorting him to put him on the plane to head back to Tucson where they could take and then process him or back to Davis Monthan. And they were there. They would meet him at the airport, pick him up, and then they were going to put him on a flight, an escorted flight, to Tennessee, where we have where the airports at the time had one of their mental institutions. Because what had happened is this guy was straight laced, a good boy, and finally he was TDY and a bunch. And I talked about this on Bill's show. There's,
yep.
but he was TDY into Las Vegas, which is temporary duty, to Nellis Air Force Base. They convinced him to finally try a joint, and they laced it with PCP.
Oh
And
boy.
he went
Jeez.
running out of the room. He went crazy. They ended up when it he was counted as AWOL, and they finally found him. And he'd been wandering around in downtown Las Vegas, and they actually put him in the Clark County Jail because they didn't
Mhm.
know what to do with him. They finally contacted us, and so my sergeant, my team leader went over and picked him up, and then they assigned me the job to take him to the airport. So we're standing in line, so get something to eat at the chow hall before I put him on the plane.
I'm
And
trisexual.
yeah, he says he's trisexual. I said, what? He says, oh yeah, I'll try anything.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what that's what a
Well, keep the
trisexual is.
circles away. Yeah.
And that guy was certifiably insane, so that should say something right there.
Yeah. Well, what
He
happened to the guys that gave him the laced marijuana? Did they
Nope,
get disciplined?
because
No.
he couldn't tell who did it, and none of them. Actually, I think two of them got. I think they got an Article 15, which is just shy of a. Uh,
Dishonor.
no, 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 no. No, it's shy of a court martial.
Oh, okay.
A court martial is where you go to court and fight. Like in JAG, stuff like
Right.
that.
Mhm.
An Article 15 or in the Navy, it's called a captain's mast, in which it's a hearing, and basically instead of going in front of the judges or a tribunal in the military, in the they just let you. The judge advocate says, "Oh, I don't want to mess with it." So what happens is, commander, rather than recommending it for court martial, he'll just adjudicate it in his office, and
Mhm.
he'll either they either got fined or they got fined and lost their stripes, or you know
Whatever.
uh
Yeah.
but yeah, and it would be a permanent mark on their record. So, you know,
Mm.
chances are that when they came to reenlist next time, they might not be able to reenlist because that would be held against them. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but I think that's what happened to two of them was, uh, they got Article 15s because they didn't
Okay.
honestly think it would do that much to him. You know,
Uh-huh.
this was 70s. You know, PCP. They were just finding out how bad it was.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
so a lot of people, it's like people who got hit with uh, uh,
LSD.
LSD. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Because that'll mess you
yeah,
up too.
yeah. And you can
Yeah.
have flashbacks. There was a guy who was an American Airlines or United Airlines pilot, and he'd gone to a New Year's Eve party, and some dipshit decided to lace like the potato chips with LSD. Just put,
Oh, jeez.
and of course the whole group got friggin' weird, and then he didn't, and he woke, he passed out when he finally woke up. They he went in and I think they ended up doing a drug test or something in it, and uh he lost his, he couldn't fly as a commercial pilot anymore because LSD can come back and bite you,
Oh,
with a
oh yeah.
flashback years later.
Hmm.
So he
Yeah.
lost his,
It's not like marijuana where it'll go out of your
yeah,
system over time. It is.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like malaria. You can have malaria once, get cured of it, but then 3 or 4 years later, you can have another setback, and that'll happen the rest of your life. My dad had it, and he ended up getting malaria, having malaria attacks, uh, 20,
Wow.
30 years after he was in the service.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Hmm. Now,
But anyways,
chicken pox, if you get it as a kid, you won't get it again. But if you get it as an adult, you can have kids.
uh, yeah.
Yeah. I think the
Well,
same measles. Or is it
I
measles?
thought it was
Or,
mumps that
oh,
affect you. Not mumps is yeah. If it drops, now you can have mumps as an adult, as long as it doesn't what they call drop and hit your it goes into your testicles,
oh,
and
okay.
they start swelling, and then of course they make you
Hmm.
they make you impotent.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Here in Colorado, we had an attempted coup at the GOP last Saturday, where they
Oh,
had a executive committee, and the chairperson was had a vote of no confidence and asked her to resign. But here's the deal: this was all a setup just to try to get rid of her because the only people that showed up were the activists that were trying to get her out anyway, and she
right.
refused to resign. So
Yeah.
uh, it's screwed up here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
another thing, a lot of the candidates were not going through the assembly process. There are two ways you get on the ballot. You go through assembly and get nominated there, or you could go through the petition process.
Right.
And a lot of candidates have chose to do that, thinking they're not going to get a fair shake at the assembly because the activists, the hard ass activists, will be there and not, win the
Right. Yeah.
nomination, which they will still end up having to petition on. But here's the downside to that is you can only petition Republicans. And with everybody leaving the party, it has gotten a lot harder and harder
Yeah.
to.
But you're talking about petitioning Republicans because you're talking about trying to take a Republican seat or a Republican.
Right, right.
Yeah. So I mean, the Democrats, you don't. They shouldn't, because the Democrats might see that as an opportunity to pick the worst possible candidate you could possibly have to run
Mhm.
against a decent Democratic candidate.
Yeah,
And it
and
sounds like.
that
Go
was
ahead.
other side and the Republicans saying, yeah, that's why we don't want unaffiliates a chance, because they made it an open primary to where unaffiliates could, but they could vote in one primary, not both of them. So they have to choose which primary to.
Right. Yeah. That's true. I
But
mean,
here,
that's why I'm
and
glad we have a closed primary because
right,
I don't want the Democrats picking out my candidate for Congress. You know,
right,
now
mhm,
he may not win. Their candidate may win in the general election, but that's fair. At least it was a fair shot.
right,
But
mm,
as a Republican, I want to pick. Because here's what I did for years. And I've said this before. For years, because the way the state was established, because I came from states that had open primaries, and when I moved
right,
here, I found out they had closed primaries. So and there was no Republican running, so I couldn't vote that day, and it kind of pissed
right,
me off. So when I went to college, they had a place to register, so I registered as a Democrat, and
uh-huh,
I stayed a Democrat up until Hillary ran against Obama,
uh-huh,
and so I voted. I can say I voted for Hillary.
mhm.
But that was in the primary, and right after I voted, I went down and changed my party affiliation to Republican
There you go.
because I
Well,
figured it was a choice between one bad person or another, and I thought, well, we made it through
so,
Bill. What? Oh, hey,
and
Joe. Yeah, we made it.
Yep.
We made it through Bill. Maybe, you know, and I think maybe the division we're having right now wouldn't be near as bad had we elected Hillary
right,
instead of Obama.
mhm,
I think. I mean, we were starting to get it, but when he came into office, he just, within his first 2 weeks, he started creating the racial division, and then and then uh, the more liberal division that we've got, and he needs to own what's going on with this country because it started with him.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
especially when that cop
yeah,
uh, busted
arrested. Yeah,
arrested that guy for breaking into his own home, and if he would just left it at that, that would have been it. No, you had to make a big effing deal about it.
yeah, yeah,
That's when the division started.
yeah.
And then
That's
when
when it started.
George Floyd thing happened, I even split it even further. The guy was a thug, you
Yeah,
know?
well, and this was the thing. A lot, we've all seen the interviews. They thought when Obama was elected, they were going to get a lot of free things out of it. Going to
Yeah.
create
Oh, yeah.
equality.
Obama phones.
Yeah,
Remember the
Obama phones, Obamacare,
yeah,
Obama money.
Obama?
And
Yeah, he's my Obama daddy. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and they thought they were going to get that, and I think that's why some of them are starting to, and this is the problem the Democrats are having. A lot of the blacks are looking at the conservative side of things now and seeing it
Hmm.
for what it is, not what they thought it was.
Hmm.
And that's why, and they're scrambling to reestablish their base. So the only thing they're getting are the kooks, the middle-aged women who have a terrible marriage or
Hmm.
just need something to do, so they dye their hair pink and go out
Pink,
there and parade with
purple,
their
blue.
tatas showing and whatever. Yeah, and like protesting ICE, and then
Well,
then attacking the ICE officers, and then wondering why the hell they got shot.
hmm
You know,
well, and the reason why Biden, let the border open was because a lot of people are moving out of blue states,
yeah,
and uh, and a lot of them are registering as Republicans
yeah,
in red states. And the other thing that they're doing is uh, the illegals are being counted in the census, so it's
Yeah.
overinflating the a portion, you know.
Right, right. They're trying to create the situation, where they can create another district that's a blue district rather than a red one.
Mm-hmm. That's right, and so that's why they're scrambling because
Well, and it's also why they're against voter ID to show you're a
yeah,
citizen.
voter ID. And
Yeah.
also, did you know that the Republicans have a built-in advantage in presidential elections because they're already 240 electoral votes in. They only need about 30 more electoral votes to win the election. Where the Democrats are at a disadvantage because the blues of the blue states don't have as many electoral votes.
Wow.
Where we had there are more red states than there are blue states.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's what's got the Democrats scared.
Yeah.
And I and getting back to the speech, Trump got a huge bump
Yeah.
in
He got
the
a 10-point jump.
yes he did,
Yeah. He
and
went from 54 to
I think
64%.
it's going to help him because now he has video from that speech that he could use in campaign ads
Yeah.
that other Republicans running for Congress or Senate could use that, and that's going to put the Democrats in an even bigger hole where the only the hardcore Democrats are going to vote for him, but the moderates, I think they're going to like, man, I can't vote for this crazy shit, you know.
Yeah.
They may split their votes and split half Republican and half Democrat.
Yeah.
And
Well, and I heard it today. Jessica Carlisle was doing her stuff, and she was talking about the next election and all this. So, this is going to we got this going on, and Jesse says, "Huh? I thought you said there wasn't going to be another election with Trump as president. I thought you
yeah,
said we weren't going to have any election. What election you talk about? We were going to have one." Yeah, just really rubbing it in her face because that's the shit that they have been pushing.
oh, was that on the 5?
Yeah, yeah.
That's Jessica Tarlov,
Karloff. I said called her
not
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Kitty
Yeah,
Carlisle from I've Got a Secret. My
oh
mind.
yeah. What's my line?
Yeah, and on both those. Yeah, she was on. She went back and forth between the two of them, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What's my line? I've got a secret, and
Yeah. What's
several.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what's going on in Colorado. Another kooky bill you got that's going through the legislature here is they want to make it so if you're going to replace a barrel on your rifle or pistol, you have to go through an FFL or
yeah,
FL. Yeah. One of
yeah.
those guys, federally
Federal firearms licensed.
licensed. Yeah. Man. Where before you didn't have to do that because, it was only the receiver or the action you had to have
Yeah, yeah.
the FFL for, not the barrel.
I mean,
Now they're,
who the hell would you get the barrel from, anyways? That's my question to that argument.
yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
Well, you can get from another person that is not a blacksmith. Say Joe Schmo, hey bud, I've got an extra barrel.
Well, yeah, if he's,
Like a sale.
individuals, I don't think that, does that rule apply to individual sales too? You know?
No, you couldn't do that with this bill. You'd have to go unless that other person happens to have that license.
Well,
But
my thing is
Hmm.
if you and I were neighbors and I had an extra barrel and you needed one that would fit,
yeah,
I had one that fits your gun, then here,
yeah.
and I can't see because that's a private exchange between two people, you know.
But that'd be illegal, Lloyd, under this.
Okay. So
Hmm.
they have declared that it would be illegal because there are certain parts of those laws every time they've tried to enact them have been struck down.
Hmm. I'm sure it'll probably
It
be.
probably is aimed more at gun shows, you know,
Yeah.
because at gun shows, a lot of those people are not, federally licensed
Oh
firearm
yeah.
salespeople.
Yeah.
I might have made uh 15 black powder rifles, and
Right.
I take them there to show them off. Because yeah, you used to be able to, like, when you're 'cause I know my brother did it when he was it Green River Firearms, and they sold parts to make rifles, and that's where he ordered
Oh
his
yeah.
barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dixie Gun Works out of Ohio.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and there was
Right.
Browning
Browning.
made
Yep.
barrels, and you could just order directly from them, and they'd send you the parts in the mail. You know,
Right. Right.
so that would preclude some of that probably.
Well, back in the day when I was shooting, I used to have uh Thompson Contender,
Yeah,
and
Thompson Center. Yeah, yeah,
it was a drop block or a rolling block action.
right.
It's single shot, but the barrels are interchangeable.
Yeah,
So I could put a 357 Magnum, maybe a 4-inch barrel on it. It'd be like a pistol, or I could get a 22 Hornet barrel.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. You're talking about pistol. Okay.
Yeah. Or I get 45-70. That's the biggest you get for
Yeah,
that. That's the
yeah.
biggest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
But
you were talking because I've been talking about black powder rifles, and
how? Yeah.
Thompson Center was a big.
Yep.
But you said that was a Thompson Contender. Is that what it was?
Yeah. They're yeah. Thompson Contender.
So I thought
Thompson.
you just mispronounced. It was my bad. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I had. Let's see. What barrels? Oh, I had a 30 Harriet, which was a net down. What was it? To 40, maybe a 44 mag down to a 30 caliber, or a
Okay.
38. And then there was the other barrel that I had. Oh, I had a 21-inch barrel, and that was a 223, and that was fun to shoot. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
great on prairie dogs and coyotes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one, what was it? I had another one. I had I think I had one that shot the same round that the AK-47. Yeah, 7.62 by 39.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Because this action could handle those pressures, but it couldn't handle anything bigger than a 308.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the pressures would be too great on it. But yeah, so I used to do that, and I kind of wish I still.
How many times did you how many times did you end up ass down on the ground from the recoil?
Oh, on those guns,
Yeah.
none.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I shot my dad's 50 caliber, Kentucky rifle, and I
Right.
mean, it gave me a big jolt, but it didn't knock me on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
That was on a bench because
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
was able to hold that
Hold it
up.
up anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did. Yeah.
You probably saw that pistol that my dad and I worked on Facebook. That I think it was a 50 caliber flintlock pistol.
Right. Yeah.
I made the trigger guard, and that was made of cast silver.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
I did what's called a lost wax process, where you make the model out of wax,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then you
yeah, yeah.
put it in plaster, and then you burnt out the wax, and then poured the. I had to make it in two pieces and solder them together with silver solder, and
Okay.
it
Okay.
came out really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Mhm.
seen some of them do that, but they don't burn out the wax first, but they have an exit hole, so when they pour the silver in, the wax burns up and is forced out.
You don't want to do that because that'll cause an explosion. That's why you burn it out. You put
Okay.
it
All
in the
right.
oven, it burns the wax out.
All right.
And
Yeah,
it
that
keeps
makes
the cavity to where you could pour the metal in. Because otherwise, if you put molten metal on wax, ooh, that's almost like pouring it on water. That'll be explosive.
okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
What was it they did that with? Because I knew somebody who did. I've seen it done. Maybe they were using a. They might have been using a
Oh
uh,
yeah, sand casting.
sand casting.
That
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
yeah.
where
That might have been. Yeah.
yeah, and when you got two sections, you pull it apart and you take the
Right.
mold out and
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
screw hole in, and that's where you pour the metal,
The
and it'll
metal.
have
Yeah.
access
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. That might
Uh,
have been where I saw that method done.
one of my other favorite videos is when they pour molten aluminum into an ant hill.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
pretty
real.
cool.
It's real
Yeah.
popular. Yeah.
But
So
not political.
did you see did you see what Ronnie put up there?
Yeah, about the most expensive
Expensive
daycare.
daycare and nursing home, nursing care.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. 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 Now he did. I was listening to it today. He mentioned something about a retirement, like a 401k for people that their employees don't offer that. That was
Yeah.
something that Trump mentioned that he was planning on doing. They could have up to $100,000 when they retired, or higher, and it was going to be the government would be matching the funds.
Right.
But
I think that, yeah, there's what he's trying to do is he's trying to use that for new hires and then getting people off of Social Security because Social
yeah,
Security is
yeah, I
underfunded.
mean, yeah, it was something like that, and it was basically almost the same plan or a very similar plan uh, that he had for the newborns.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. It was a similar plan, but it was for, like you said, new hires that they didn't offer that. So,
Yeah. And that's why Democrats don't want that because they want to keep Social Security. Why? Because Social Security is now part of the general fund.
fund. Yeah.
Where before, back in the 70s, prior to the 70s,
Yep.
it was its own separate thing.
Yeah. Who made it that way? Was it Nixon or was it
It was
Carter?
either Nixon or Carter.
Yeah.
I imagine it might be Nixon because, because you got to remember, Nixon wasn't a hardcore conservative. He
Conservative.
was
No, he
more
was a very moderate.
moderate. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Man.
cousin Richard. Yeah. He.
Hmm.
Yeah. What can you say about him? Yeah.
What can you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Everybody's got a relative like that somewhere.
he was right about the media, about the media industrial complex.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
He was
Agnew and I remember they used to get on there. Agnew would get on there and just rip the media.
right.
Vice President Agnew did, and
Yeah.
uh, And
Mm,
that's, I think, initially what they found a way to get rid of him, you know.
yeah. Well, they found out he took bribes when he was governor of Maryland.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you know the funny thing is, I'll bet the guy just before him took bribes, and guy before that took bribes.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
had the same thing happen here when I first moved here in '81.
Mhm.
Right after I'd moved here, or it happened just before, like in '80. A
Mhm.
county commissioner scandal, and it ended up taking down some big people that moved on from being county commissioners to being congressmen and stuff like that. It was, uh, and what it was is every county and every commissioner that had been a commissioner for the last from for 40 years before, you know,
Mhm.
uh, they got busted, and they went back and because they'd been taking bribes, but whenever they'd take office, the guy before him would say, "Well, now, they were taking kickbacks." He says, "Now these companies pay a premium so that we'll consider their,
Mhm.
'cause this is just the way it was when I came into office." He said, "Oh, okay,"
Mhm.
and it was just
Well, it's always that way.
huh?
Mm.
Yeah, it always been that way. So nobody, but it finally
They
figured out that
thought,
that was
well, why is it any different? Everybody else does it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that
My
became
house. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Everybody does that.
so so
Why should it be any different?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So is Hazel going to be a thing of the past now, or
Uh, no, it might be a trio. We got Hazel, Bucky. Bucky is packed away somewhere. I'll have
good?
to pull him out, and then we'll animate him or make him clay, and
I would not do that with Bucky. You can get by with it probably with Alf, but I wouldn't do that with Bucky because I think Bucky's would come after you if you animated
yeah,
their,
you're
you know,
right. You're right. Yeah,
yeah. And Alf maybe too, but I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think they'd really care.
this was, put these out. Burger King.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was in the ad when I ordered it.
Okay. All right.
So just think, this guy is probably 40 years old now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost 2/3 your age there, or
Yeah.
actually 3/4 of your age.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. So anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I think this whole we have to make it till November. A
Yeah,
lot
that's
can happen, and but I think the president needs to focus a little bit more on uh yeah,
yeah, on the
on helping out the American middle class, survive,
right,
and the poor too.
right.
Get these prices down. My gas prices have been fluctuating. They're changing 20 cents at a time. They'll go up 20, and then they'll go up 40 more. Another 20 cents. Then they drop back down, and it's like
Well, that's because of the cold weather in Charles' neck of the woods.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
those people still use fuel oil,
Well, yeah,
heating
yeah.
oil.
but that
Yep.
doesn't explain why gasoline is
Well, that
Yeah,
costing
wouldn't
more.
it's,
that
you know,
wouldn't make stuff more expensive for Lloyd because everything, at least up until recently, has been based on region demand in a particular region. That would make stuff more expensive in New York State.
Yeah, exactly.
Demand on top of the heavy gas tax we pay.
but
Yeah,
That
and
wouldn't make things more expensive for anybody outside of New York.
yeah, in Oklahoma does not use heating oil.
yeah. Well,
And
neither Colorado, but Colorado is trying to get rid of all fossil fuels.
yeah, yeah,
And
but like for our
that,
gas, it's refined right here in Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma oil.
mhm.
That's so we've got our own supplies, and that's why I can't understand. And you said that the other day. I thought
Well,
about that.
that's
And I
what
thought,
I got from Bill. Bill
okay,
Ronan,
well,
he
yeah, yeah,
explained it to
yeah.
me. And I go, okay, that made sense. And it's like every
Well,
time cold snap, you notice your price of gas keeps going up.
yeah,
And then
because I mean, I can see that, but for it to do it so quickly and so, because when they bid on a barrel of oil, they're talking, we're talking a
well,
future barrel, not ones that have already been sold, but ones that are coming in. It's sort of a future type thing. And yeah, supply and demand, but it usually takes, from the time the barrel price goes up, it usually takes a couple of weeks or more for it to affect the refined, because they're talking about raw oil, not refined.
mm-hmm.
So,
Mike, you just came
oh,
in at
hey,
the
Mike,
end
just
of the show,
yeah.
Mike.
So anyway, I'll find out why it's been jumping around.
Howdy.
All right,
Yes.
you get back to me on
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Well, our oil prices have been pretty weird as well. They were recently. Where were we getting it? We buy a lot of our gas from this convenience store chain up here called Stewart's, and for a while they were like at $2.99, which is really low for New York State. And then all of a sudden, recently they just jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they used to demonstrate the principle of regional pricing, because based on demand, because there's one 5 miles from my house, that would be the most expensive place for whatever weird reason. And then in a more populated area, which is where we normally go do our shopping, where there's a ton of traffic and a ton of people stopping to get
Right.
gas and lottery tickets and everything else, that price was lower. Now all these places are like in lockstep with each other, the same price, which is weird.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we still have some that run a few cents lower. But what surprised me was when one of the big chains like Casey's, you know, which is one of the chains for around here, and Quick Trip both, they their price was actually lower than my little station up here that I normally get gas from, because they're usually the cheapest gas in town. But for some reason, Casey's and Quick Trip was actually lower. But they,
Yep.
he was selling it one time for $1.98 a gallon, and everybody else had jumped up to 210 to 213. And
Mm-hmm.
like an idiot, I didn't stop. I needed gas, but I didn't stop and get it that day. And when I went back the next day, he says, "Yeah." And well, actually, no, I drove by, and I really should have stopped and got gas, but I was kind of in a hurry. But I, I instead of just pulling in there, I could have got it for $1.98. When I came back, it was $1.18. Yeah, or $2.18.
That's
It went up.
funky.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It went.
Mm.
So that's a 20-cent jump.
Yep.
Just
Oh,
in driving past it, and it only took me 10 minutes to do what I was going to do and then come back. So
mhm.
15 minutes in total, it changed from $1.98 to 2.18. Just pissed me off.
Yep.
But he
Yep.
got called by his boss, said, "Hey, raise that price up. That's don't be." So with no explanation that why everybody took a jump, because everybody else was just, they got down to like Mike says there, 201.
Mhm.
And 202. That's what it was running for the big stations. Casey's, all the chain
Right.
stations were always a little bit higher than these people up here. But
Right. Well, here, right around Christmas time, it got down to $1.74.
Yeah.
In some
Wow.
places, $1.54. And
Wow.
that was way down by Parker, Colorado, and that's quite a trip for me to go way down there to get gas. But yeah, it was. But after the first of the year, it's just started going up, and then just these big swings. Like last week, about this time, it was 245. And then by the weekend, it was $2.99. And I'm like, oh, holy shit. That's a big swing. And then I
Yeah.
looked at the weather and I go, oh, yeah, they're having a big blizzard in the northwest or northeast there. That's because, it's also having an effect on fuel getting to them.
Yeah.
It also has an effect on the price. So, yeah, there's a lot of factors into what causes fuel prices to go up. Well, guys, we've done a little over an hour. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming. Hope you found this informative and somewhat entertaining. You all have a great weekend. Enjoy the warm weather in some parts of the country, and hopefully it'll be warmer for those in the cold areas soon. Here in Colorado, they're talking about a big snowstorm late next week. So take care, everybody. Don't forget my other show, my drone show, tomorrow night, Artco Drones and Entertainment, where it's not just drones. We talk about other stuff, even Star Trek. And we'll piss and moan about the new series. Starfleet Fleet Academy. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget, tune in to Artco Drones and Entertainment live stream for more exciting content every Friday night at 5 p.m. Mountain